Well, what in the PBC hell is going on here, bro? I don't know what to say about this. What's good? What's good? It's the one and only, but what do I know? Boxer coming back at y'all with another one, man. So we got Tim Tszyu and Erickson Lubin in the news. Apparently, the fight that we thought was going to happen is no longer happening, as Erickson Lubin is pulling out of the purse bids. All right. Now, I did the research on this. Initially, I couldn't find an Erickson Lubin response, but I did find the article or whatnot. So let me go ahead and get into the article, and then I'll give my opinion about everything. All right, so shout out to boxing.com. It says Tim Tszyu, Erickson Lubin purse bids canceled. Purse bid for the fight between Tim Tszyu and Erickson Lubin has been canceled. Representatives of Lubin, who is 28 years old, informed the IBF that their fighter wouldn't be medically fit. When was his last fight? Medically fit to fight. Boxing Scene understands a date of July 30th had been set for purse bids for a proposed final eliminator for the IBF junior middleweight title. No Limit Boxing Tim Tszyu had hoped to stage a contest in Australia on September 22nd, and we are waiting for a sanction body to instruct a potential next move. It is also understood that they have attempted to make a fight between Tszyu and Lubin in October 2023, but that a perceived lack of interest from Lubin and those around him contributed to the then undefeated Tszyu instead fighting and defeating Brian Mendoza in the Gold Coast. I can't pronounce his name. Burakan Marzarakalaziv is the reigning champion. Tszyu lost for the first time in March when he had a significant cut against Sebastian Fundora in Las Vegas, proved influential throughout a dramatic fight that he had been expected to win. The time that cut required to heal meant that plans for him to fight Virgil Ortiz in Los Angeles on August 3rd had to be abandoned, but he has since been cleared to start full sparring in hopes to get a fight in September regardless. That is okay. So I'm kind of lost. Let's see if I could find something because what are they backing out? It's not telling me why he decided to back out. Now shout out to Fox Sports News. It says American Erickson Lubin has sensationally walked away from boxing superstar Tim Tszyu. Would you really consider him a superstar yet? I wouldn't. But Tim Tszyu again, just as the Australian IBF World Title Challenger had warned only days ago. Fox Sports Australia can reveal Lubin has knocked back the chance to fight an IBF World Title eliminator in Australia, which now leaves Tszyu planned September 22nd blockbuster in limbo. With the purse bid between Tszyu and Lubin canceled, promoter No Limit will now wait to see what steps IBF officials wish to take. It is understood Lubin's team have told the sanctioning body he will not be fit to fight on the proposed date. But did he gain a lot of weight or what? I'm trying to figure this out. Only last week, however, Tszyu urged Lubin and his team to stop being a princess and sign off on the hype pay-per-view headliner as he jetted out for a Las Vegas camp that involved a new partnership with UFC Performance Institute. The Sydney Sider, whatever you call it, revealed, he's from Sydney, Australia, so revealed he and Lubin had already exchanged messages over Instagram regarding the September event scheduled for a yet-to-be-announced location. Tim Tszyu stated followed whispers suggested the American was not keen to fly out to Australia to take the fight. Asked if he thought the fight location would be an issue, Tim Tszyu told Fox Sports Australia, maybe. I know a lot of American fighters do not like to travel or are scared to travel. Oh, Tim. Oh, Tim. Don't do that. Don't do that, Tim, because you're going to put yourself in a world full of issues. A lot of American fighters don't like to travel. Bro, we got America got the best fighters in the world, bro. Don't play with us, dog. Shout out to, and that's no disrespect, shout out to Mexico, because we know Mexico is number two in Mexico and the UK are our biggest rivalries. But don't do America like that, buddy. Don't do America like that, buddy, because we be whooping that, you know what I'm saying? Anyway, they only need to fly for an hour and they're already complaining. I mean, because I know an American by the name of Devin Haney who, never mind. You feel like saying, relax, princesses. For us Australian fighters, it's what we have to do. Even for a camp, I'm going to America. Soon after this interview, Tszyu continued. He initially messaged me on Instagram about a month ago regarding the fight, and I replied to him saying, let's do it. I told him that I've been waiting for him since the start of this year. So I think he's keen. I just hope he doesn't get cold feet. It tends to happen. The latest drama represents the third time Lubin, who doubles the highest ranked challenger to IBF champion Baraka Marakarev, has walked away from his discussions with Tim Tszyu. Promoter No Limit initially tried to bring the American to Australia last year, while Lubin was also favored to be Tim Tszyu's opponents when the Soul Taker looked to unify the WBO and the WBC straps in March. American Jesus Ramos Jr., who is now 21-1, now looms as a potential replacement to keep the September bout alive. While others, I think that would be even a better fight, because I thought Jesus Ramos beat Erickson Lubin. But anyways, while others inside the IBF top 10 rankings include undefeated German Slava Spomer, Jack Kukle, and Xander Zayas, which I think is too soon for Xander Zayas, and Irishman Caleb Walsh. Regardless, Tim Tszyu and his team have already jetted out for the United States and a camp that will see the 29-year-old based out of his new Las Vegas home at Split T Boxing Gym. Tszyu's head coach, Igor Glockberg, has already revealed that his charge will do chunks of his strength and conditioning work at the UFC Performance Institute, which has also been used by athletes outside MMA boxing megastar Terrence Crawford and the Las Vegas Raiders. This bout will be Tim Tszyu's first since losing in his hype push to unify the WBO and the WBC straps earlier this year. While Lubin was initially in talks for that bout, the opportunity went instead to Keith Thurman, who withdrew danger. Okay, we already know that. During negotiations, furious Lubin took to social media denying and suggested that he had walked away from talks, as he has been reported in Australia, stating, "Don't start some ish you know nothing about. That ain't even how I rock. I'll fight anybody." Yet when asked last week if he had a message for Lubin, Tim Tszyu crackled, "Let's make it easy rather than being a princess. That's what I say to him and his team. If both boys want it, let's make it happen." So Tim Tszyu seems to be on board, but you know, Erickson Lubin is his team is not giving us any clarification. I think that's a big issue with fighters like that just walk away and then they get mad when people be like, well, you're ducking, but you're not giving us anything to clarify this on. You got, like, you know, I want to hear what Lubin has to say as far as like what as far as like him getting, you know, pulling out of this fight. Like, what do you have to say? You can't just pull out of a fight and then get mad when people assume that you're backing out of the fight and ducking. All right, now, thankfully, I was actually able to find something that Erickson Lubin just posted on his verified Instagram account. So let me go ahead and bring that up. Good that he responded. So shout out to Erickson Lubin for responding to it. He says, I asked for the Tim Tszyu fight to unfortunately... Wait, he said, I asked for the Tim Tszyu fight. Unfortunately, I have an injury in my left hand. I even asked to move the date back a month or two to heal so we could still make it happen. They didn't agree to move it back and will continue with their show. We have now agreed to fight in December. So apparently he has a hand injury, which I'm glad he's choosing to speak about or whatnot. I'm glad he's displaying it or whatever, but he says he has a injured hand and they wanted to make the fight, but I can't blame Tim Tszyu, because sometimes when you have a date locked in on in a venue, you have to kind of like that venue might not be available at the time that he's asking for. So I can see why Tim Tszyu may be like, nah, we can't push it back. But Erickson Lubin then says, our teams agreed to this December in the States. Quit the Doug narrative. I fought the best in this division. You're coming off of a loss. Now go get a win in Australia versus one of your cousins or something. I'll see you in December when my hand is good. Don't forget that I asked for this. And Tim Tszyu was saying, again, bro, really? So, you know, as far as Erickson Lubin, you know, he's saying you're coming off of a loss, go get, you know, and he said he still wants to fight. Now, I don't believe that Erickson Lubin is afraid of anybody. I really don't, because, you know, he has fought the top competition. And if the man is injured, if he has an injury and he can't fight on that date, then I don't see why. I don't see anything wrong with them pushing the date back. Now, Erickson, you can't be talking about you coming off of a loss, go back and fight one of your cousins, get a win. Like, come on, Erickson. Like, yeah, on paper you coming off of a win, but I think everybody and their mama know you really lost that fight against Jesus Ramos. I'm just keeping it a buck, bro. But whatever the situation may be, I don't think Erickson Lubin is afraid of Tim Tszyu, and I don't think that he's ducking this fight. I feel like you know, again, it's just unfortunate circumstances. You know, he hurt his hand. I'm glad he spoke on it, because at first I couldn't find like anything Tim Tszyu, or anything Erickson Lubin saying, but I'm glad he spoke on it. And you know, if his hand is injured, then I mean, it is what it is. I mean, I don't think that you can really criticize him, because if he fights with an injured hand and then he loses and he says his hands was injured, then you guys are gonna sit here and say, oh, he's making excuses. So I mean, you can't call it a duck, bro. You know, the man he stated he injured himself. But I also understand why they wouldn't, you know, you just can't push back on another date like that if they have something already set in stone. Who knows, all right? But it looks like Tim Tszyu is going to keep the ball rolling, and hopefully we get this fight in December, but I don't know. That's kind of close quarters. Let me know what you guys think, man. Make sure you guys like, comment, subscribe. Do you feel like this is a duck, or do you feel like the fight will happen? But what do I know? All right. Wait for a second. I just got, you know, I just saw this on Erickson Lubin's page. He screenshotted with the message, and he said, I was pushing for this fight before the IBF ordered it. Tim Tszyu acting like one of these internet boxers we know. They emailed you the WBO belt, but that's gone now, champ. Earn it the right way. And he said, let's do it in Vegas, champ. And then Tim Tszyu replied and said, with pleasure, brother. I was keen for it the last time. He said, we'll reach out, mate. So this was June 19th. So he did say, you know, he wanted to do it in Vegas or whatnot. And so, you know, he's showing his receipts, which I'm glad he's doing, because I don't think Erickson Lubin is ducking any smoke, bro. That dude has fought everybody, and will continue to do so. So, you know, let me know what you guys think. Make sure you guys like, comment, subscribe. But what do I know?